Yo, what the fuck is going on, Growmies? Hope y'all are doing well, growing well. Now, Growmies, it's Growers Mindset, and today we are back in the soil versus hydro time with HGZ and, of course, the Star Strippers, aka Tropicana Cookies, Stardawg, and the true breadwinner, Lamb's Bread. At this point, we are smack dab right in the middle of flower, and the plants are a perfect healthy green from the very top to complete bottom, showing no signs of deficiencies at all. Which leads me to my goal for this grow, which was to create a soil medium that would still be completely regenerated even by the end of flower. So far, we are achieving that goal, but it's important to not overfeed. Also, these plants are flourishing above the soil and below the powerful photosynthetic energy of the Spider Farmer SE3000. And there isn't only just an SE3000 here, but also UV, IR, and far red supplemental LEDs. Coming back a little bit later, the progression of this life cycle is now beyond a month into flower, which means that we can really start to evaluate our initial opinions and perceptions of each strain. Starting with my favorite strain, it's Lamb's Bread, and here's why. As we can see, compared to the other shorter indica plants, this Bob Marley favorite sativa has a nice stretch, giving it a good balance of internodal spacing. This allows the buds to grow fat with some distance in between them in the best way. Feeling the trichomes of this plant, at first it feels slick and then stuck sticky like pine tar. The aroma of this plant is honestly the most unique and powerful orange juice creamsicle candy, which I've never smelled before. Making an extract out of this strain, it might be one of the best tasting hash profiles that I've ever seen. Every time that I clone these photos, it pretty much just sits in the tent and does nothing until I toss it. But with Lamb's Bread, this strain is so special that it has to be cloned and preserved. Since this pheno of Lamb's Bread is so unique to the true orange fruit aroma, I'm deciding to call the cut the OJ Creamsicle Growers Mindset Lamb's Bread Cut, which has inspired me to give away 5 clones of this strain in the future. I'm not sure how I'm going to do the giveaway, but I do have some ideas. I'm thinking partially will be a random entered giveaway, and then the others will go to some viewers that I always see commenting and supporting the channel. Anyways, it's tough to follow up OJ Creamsicle, but the next plant is Stardawg. Now this Stardawg pheno, I honestly cannot wait to make a whole seed to harvest grow/smoke report on this plant. What I really love about Stardawg is the insane branching with bright green beautiful nugs across the entire plant. This ultra chemical skittle and almost wooden cologne profile reminds me of an OG flower, but more of like a different type of OG that I've never tried. Also, this plant has a ton of trichome production and seems like it'll be a large yielder. Overall, one of the better plants I've grown. And that leads us to the collab plants with HomeGrownZone. Looking at Tropicana Cookies, Pheno A, from afar it looks like an incredible plant. However, Pheno A is actually my least favorite plant in the tent for some good reasons. These reasons, well, first is the very pencily thin buds. Next is the all too common GMO cookie smell that's really not unique anymore and has pretty much been bred into everything. This Trop Cookie Pheno A also has a slight tropical backend, but it's not my favorite profile or the profile I was expecting. Also, the scent is somewhat muted, especially when compared to the OJ Creamsicle, which really knocks your socks off. The last pheno of Tropicana Cookies is Pheno B, which is my preferred plant. Taking some observations and inspections, the flowers are somewhat dense, but are noticeably spread out. The trichome coverage is pretty average and nothing too special. Regarding the terpenes, there is that orange scent for sure, but it's almost like when you try a grape strain, and it does have that grape, but it's just not blatant. OJ Creamsicle is pure orange, which is what I actually wanted from these Trop cookies, to be honest. Anyways, all the plants are growing very strong and well in their own ways. I am super excited to be giving away some OJ Creamsicle cuts in the future, so look out for the official announcement. But before the video's over, this is the Soil vs Hydro Grow Along, so let's check out HomeGrownZone on how he's growing his own Tropicana cookies in deep water culture hydroponics.
Hey Romies, welcome back to the Growers Mindset HGZ Grow Along of the Wheat Seed Express Tropicana cookies. And they are looking absolutely fantastic, Romies. I'm really excited to give you guys an update on this grow. It's been a couple of weeks now, and as you can see, things have really completely changed. Let me tell you something. I would have never imagined these plants to get this big in such a short amount of time. You know, I expected big growth growing hydro, but this is another story. And after further thinking about it, I said, let me look up the lineage of this stuff. And sure enough, Gromies, Tropicana Cookies is a 70% sativa strain, and they love to grow to the freaking moon, Gromies. These plants are huge. So without further ado, let me get up there and I'll show you how we roll. Okay, Gromies, this is what we got going on here. We got pheno number 1 of the Tropicana Cookies. Now these, I think, are starting on week 3 of flower. They're looking a little droopy because they needed water, they needed nutrients. I came in here and they were completely dry, but they have lifted up. But this plant right here, we had to take some drastic action. As you can see right here, I had to crack her back. This is at the 38-inch mark, and I counted, well, I measured it, and I have another 17 inches of growth from where I snapped it. I snapped it back about 1 foot mark from the top. And that thing is freaking, it ate that shit for breakfast, Gromies. Huh. But these are looking really nice. I wanted to keep it all at this level. And just to do so, I had to put some weights on her to hold her down. And this damn thing is bench pressing a screw and some little bracket there I found, just to monkey something together just to hold it down, because if I didn't, that branch where I snapped it will just bend right back up. So we're almost there, you know, not bad. I'm about 4 inches, 3 or 4 inches for the top canopy over here. So I'm really happy with it. Can't complain about that. But you know, I often do that when my plants get too tall. I don't tie them down, I don't bend them, I don't do any of that shit. I just crack their backs and everything seems to work out great. Anyway, that's pheno number 1, and she is growing down in a 4-inch rock wool cube, and that 4-inch cube is sitting on top of a 6-inch cube inside the bucket there. And I surrounded it with the lava rock. We have a drip pan right here. It's overflowing because I finally added some nutrients. The whole plant was drooped earlier on, but I knew she'd bounce right back up. But she's doing absolutely great. I wouldn't say, if anything, as far as space is concerned, there's probably maybe about a gallon of surface area those roots are growing in. You know, so I don't know. Do the math. We got a 4x4 and a 6x6. So somebody out there, do the math and see how much space that covers. This is just all dry rock, lava rock. There's nothing, no roots at all growing in that lava rock. And I'm really impressed with this cube grow. Over here to the right, this is pheno number 2 of the pies cream cake. We got this one growing in deep water culture. And give you a little shot of the roots. Oh, this thing is getting a little heavy. But they're looking absolutely great. I could see all that microbes growing down on them. They're looking beautiful. And this one right here, is pretty tall too. The only thing I like about this one is look at that node spacing. Even though that's a wide node spacing, Growmies, it's much better than pheno number 1. Pheno number 1 is a freaking tree. She's growing like a freaking bamboo stalk, man. Beast, unbelievable. But I'm liking this one a little bit better. A little bit shorter nodes, but I still like them tighter. But you know, now I know why. This is a sativa dominant plant, and they like to grow to the freaking sky, Growmies. And I'm really excited. It's been a while since I really grown this much of a sativa percentage in a strain. You know, most of the strains out now are hybrids, so you know, I was just a little bit surprised. But everything is looking great. I'm feeding this one now. This is the one we roasted, me. I'm throwing you guys under the bus with me. This is the one I roasted in my nutrients earlier on. And I put her back on her baby food, which was the Big Grow, Fox Farm Big Grow. And I put her here in flour, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna put her on the flour nutrients, because my flour nutrients have half the freaking nitrogen as my grow nutrients. And they're doing exactly what I wanted them to look like, coming up with the lime green, and then they slowly turn nice and green as the plant grows. But that's exactly what I wanted to see, and she's handling it pretty good. So we had to raise the light up there. She's underneath the 600 watt HPS. As you can see, she was all drooping over here. She wasn't liking it. It was a little too hot for her. But you know, that's one thing you got to be careful of with these HPSs, because they get hot. And I don't have a vented hood or none of that. This is my original OG HPS I've been using now for over 30 years, Growmies. The only thing you change are the bulbs. That's how I roll here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that's it, Growmies. I hope you enjoyed that. Plants are looking good. We're probably looking, I would say, probably a February harvest sometime. And so we still got a ways to go. Alrighty. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm HGZ, and I'm out of here. Hey Growmies, HGZ here. Welcome back to another episode of the HGZ Growers Mindset Grow Along of the Tropicana cookies. We basically got 3 different ways of growing it here. We got Growers Mindset growing in the soil cocoa combination Gomusiyama, and we have the HGZ DWC, and we have the HGZ Rockwell Cube. So we got 3 different versions of this, and they all look fantastic, Growmies, let me tell you. So let me just move right along and tell you what we got going on here. First off, we'll start off with this one, this freaking monster. This plant is over 4.5 feet tall. I had to do some little bending and whatnot of the branches. I don't bend them, I snap them and let them grow. But this plant is doing absolutely amazing. She suffered a little bit of pH damage through my neglect during the holidays here. And here, I'll just take a leaf and I'll show you what it looks like up in my x-ray. Let me turn on my x-ray machine. Okay, see that, Growmies? See all that spotting? My pH dropped on me for a day, and I didn't change the, you know, it was time to change it. I said, let it go another day. Well, guess what? That's what happens, Growmies, in no time. So, but it's okay. It's not like it never happened before. Just a couple of the fan leaves did it. The other leaves are just fine. But it's basically these fan leaves that I didn't pick. So, but she's doing great. I had to snap this one back. I don't know if you can see that knuckle right there. And just so I can keep the top nug. And that thing has gone down, wow, and zip right back up. So we saved the top nug. I didn't have to top it off. I don't like topping my plants. And you know, I just love that top nug. Anyway, let's move over to the left. That's pheno number 1. She is a beast. This was the one I had nothing but headaches with from the beginning, and it looks like she's going to give me a headache throughout the whole grow. She's very sensitive to everything. Very, very sensitive pheno. On the other hand, to the left, this one I can't even kill if I wanted. This one is a very robust pheno. It could take anything I could throw at it pretty much, and she's doing absolutely great. If you look at the leaves, see how much greener these are than that one? You could definitely tell the different phenotype. This one is very, very bushy, very wide. She's almost 4 feet wide, Growmies, and 4.5 feet tall. So this one is just completely beasted out, but it's very, very sensitive. I'm not happy with that phenome, and I'm glad I didn't pick a clone from it either. I would have just wasted my time. But the other one here, this one is absolutely fantastic. Nice green, healthy leaves. Now this one is in week 4, I believe, of bloom. I sprayed them down in here because it gets very dry. My humidity gets down below 20%, so I have to come in here every day and spray them. But she's looking really good. That's one of the nugs. Actually, that is the top nug right there. Another one, that's the one I bent back originally. And she's doing freaking amazing growing. She's a beast, but nothing like the other pheno. And this is a sativa dominant plant, 70% sativa. Unfortunately, I found out too late. Otherwise, I would have probably did some training and whatnot to them. But they are looking absolutely fantastic. Still got a ways to go yet. I figured probably by the end of this month, we'll be harvesting this one. This one is probably like a week or 2 behind it, so we're talking about early February, late January this month. So everything is looking absolutely fabulous. I just couldn't be any more happier. But just those 2 plants alone are just eating up my whole freaking grow room here. And well, you know, shit happens. What are you gonna do? You just got to keep up with it. So anyway, we feeding them this down here. These are my nutrients bubbling away. Now that is pure rainwater mixed with my nutrients. You know, I'm very fortunate to have rain here where I live and collect it. And if you can use rainwater, use it any day over the tap water, Growmies. It's so much easier for your plant to absorb than that tap water. So, you know, I have a bucket set outside with an umbrella upside down on it, and it just strips right into the umbrella. And that's how I do it. You know, I feed the same thing to my tropical enclosure. Take a quick look at the roots here. She's bubbling away down there. And whoa, this thing is heavy. Big old pocket of roots there. Looking good. And that's how we roll. But she is an absolute beast. These 2 girls here are eating up my whole freaking grow room. So anyway, Growmies, I hope you enjoyed that. Stay tuned for our next update. And I want to wish everybody a wonderful Happy New Year, okay? I'm HGZ, and I'm out of here.
As always, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and comment. If you haven't seen my other grow/smoke reports, check them out. Keep it up out there, Growmies, and stay motivated in this beautiful medicinal hobby. #GrowMeGang.